The massive wildfires that swept through the hills outside Jerusalem are now under control. Israeli authorities are investigating the possibility some of those fires were started on purpose.
Those investigations come as the U.S. is increasing pressure on Iran. Here's CBN Middle East correspondent Julie Stahl with the details.
Careless hikers may have started some of the worst blazes the Jewish nation has had in a decade, but it appears Palestinians may have deliberately set other fires. Authorities have arrested 3 arson suspects so far. Arab social media filled with praise for the fires, and some posts called for setting more blazes. CBN's Raj Nair interviewed Israeli tour guide Ron Lahad on why arsonists would do this, especially on the Israeli holidays of Memorial Day and Independence Day, when Israelis were memorializing fallen soldiers and terror victims.
For some people, anything that hurts Israel, anything that hurts the day, anything that hurts the country, the symbolism, that's their goal.
Meanwhile, Israeli leaders are watching closely as a 4th round of talks this weekend to halt Iran's nuclear weapons development was postponed. And then President Donald Trump upped the pressure on Iran through more sanctions.
Put sanctions on last night. Any oil that anybody takes from Iran is not allowed to do business in the United States of America.
At the same time, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth warned Iran will pay a heavy price for supporting Houthi rebels who've been attacking international shipping. On X, he wrote, "We see your lethal support to the Houthis. We know exactly what you are doing. You know very well what the U.S. military is capable of, and you were warned. You will pay the consequence at a time and place of our choosing." Early Friday, Israel intercepted a Houthi missile. Shrapnel fell in this kindergarten in northern Israel. And Israel is still protecting the Druze people in Syria. Prime Minister Netanyahu and Defense Minister Katz issued a joint statement confirming Israel struck near the presidential palace in Damascus, saying, "This is a clear message to the Syrian regime. We will not allow the deployment of forces south of Damascus or any threat to the Druze community." Meanwhile, here in Israel, despite the previous day's wildfires, Israelis pressed forward and took to the parks on Thursday to celebrate the country's 77th Independence Day. Julie Stahl, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Thank you, Julie. Middle East Bureau Chief Chris Mitchell is with us now from Jerusalem. Chris, what have we learned so far in the investigation into these fires?
Well, we know there were multiple causes right now, Andrew. First of all, there was extreme weather, high winds, dry conditions, but certainly arson played a point. And as Julie said in her report, the Arab channels were praising the fires, asking for more, and designed to come on Independence Day. On the other hand, many were celebrated, as Julie saw in the report, the miracle of Israel, its independence after 77 years, and restoration after 2,000 years, confirmed in Scripture. When Isaiah said, "Can a nation be born in a day?" confirmed in archaeology where the stones are crying out. And after 77 years, Andrew, surrounded by enemies, attacked by hostile neighbors, Israel's still here against all odds.
A lot of other things to talk about as well. The White House is increasing pressure on Iran while trying to get the nuclear deal. Does Israel still believe this is the best time for a military strike on Iran?
I think they do, Andrew, and here's why. Iran is really closer than ever to getting a nuclear weapon. Right now, their air defenses have been degraded or destroyed in 2 attacks last year by Israel. And then Iran's proxies have been weakened since October 7th. Hamas and Hezbollah and the Houthis are degraded and or damaged to a dramatic extent, and especially Hezbollah, which was sort of the ace in the hole for Iran, that if Israel attacked Iran, Hezbollah would launch, hundreds of and thousands of missiles. The Houthis, and as Jess said in our report earlier, they not only fired a missile earlier, but 2 not too long ago. We heard the Iron Dome interceptions not too long ago. But Israel would also hope for U.S. backing and participation. The wild card is, Andrew, are these negotiations right now. And if a nuclear deal is struck between the U.S. and Iran, that may tie Israel's hands. But overall, Israel feels this is a great window to eliminate such an existential threat to Israel, those Iranian nuclear sites.
All right, Chris, last question. Of course, it may not be in the headlines today. Israel's still fighting against Hamas in Gaza. Do you have anything recent to report on that?
Sure. The IDF Chief of Staff, Eyal Zamir, he said Hamas will receive what he calls a decisive blow, and he says we will intensify the fighting in Gaza. It'll be a concerted effort to really finish off Hamas militarily. It's probably going to take more boots on the ground. But the goal, Andrew, is to bring an end to the war, bring all the hostages home. And many people believe if this is achieved, this is going to lead to normalization with other countries, perhaps with Saudi Arabia, and expand the Abraham Accords. And so that's part of the goal right now for the IDF and the coalition government right now.
All right, Chris, thanks so much, everyone. That is Chris Mitchell reporting from Jerusalem.